Hey, welcome to the QueBIT Coffee Break. It's Dan Barrett again, and I've got Justin Croft with us today. Hey, Justin, welcome to the QueBIT Coffee Break. It's great to have you here. Today, I'm drinking a Ugandan brew. It's very smooth and strong. What are you drinking today?
Drinking whatever Starbucks sold me.
That's great. Justin always has great answers. In fact, you're going to find some great answers today. Justin Croft, our VP of Solutions Architecture here at QueBIT, has just released his new book, AI Forecasting for Finance. His leadership in advanced analytics has garnered recognition from Information Week, the Association of National Advertisers, and IBM. A thought leader in the field, he is a frequent speaker and panelist sharing his knowledge on advanced analytics. Today, we'd like to introduce you to Justin's ebook discussing key concepts of the book, interspersed with insights into how QueBIT is leading the charge in integrating AI into finance. The book is packed with decades of expertise in AI and predictive analytics, and Justin's unique blend of technical and business acumen shines through in every page. This is a must-read for anybody looking to transform their financial forecasting with AI. So, Justin, I got some questions for you today. What prompted you to write this book?
Yeah, great question, Dan. And thanks for putting this together and letting me be here today. I wanted to write this book because it felt like finance leaders were struggling with how to get started in using AI within their organization. We have lots of conversations. People are excited about AI and machine learning, but they just don't know how to get started, and they don't know how to apply it. They don't exactly understand the problems that it can solve, or how to go about doing it properly in a way that's going to be accurate, that's going to help drive business decisions, and in a way that's going to be adopted. And so I wanted to write this book as a way to really foster those conversations and to help educate people in this arena, which I think is really important.
Oh, I totally agree. Justin, could you share your perspective on how AI is revolutionizing the finance industry?
Finance has been doing forecasts for years. AI makes them more accurate. It makes them more repeatable. It makes the whole process more scalable because it removes a lot of the manual human labor. But I think more important, you're able to incorporate the drivers of your business into the AI system in a way that a traditional spreadsheet just simply can't. The external predictors, the macroeconomic indicators, things like advertising spend, headcount, you name it, can be incorporated into an AI model. And that gives finance the credibility that their forecasts are really tied to the way that the business operates and the way the business performs.
So it takes us beyond just the normal predictive analytics that's, regression analysis into drivers, more maybe macroeconomic drivers or maybe even microeconomic drivers that would generate more accurate forecasts in the finance function.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
When I used to work in the corporate finance arena, I was always challenged with forecasting gross sales. And of course I had historical data, but I always knew that things like the day of the week was a major driver. So
Right.
seasonality,
Yeah.
right? That's difficult to tease out, plus macro and microeconomic factors, things like competitive information. I worked in telecommunications. And so did we have the new iPhone or did Verizon have the new iPhone? What was the price at AT&T versus what was the price at our stores? Those sorts of things you can incorporate now into an AI forecast, plan promotions, stock outs, really any piece of information that you want to test, you can incorporate into an AI forecast that really goes above and beyond just using the historical data as a baseline.
So in your book, you discuss several practical applications of AI in financial forecasting. Could you provide an example of how QueBIT has successfully implemented these applications?
Absolutely. We do a lot of data preparation that goes in hand with AI and machine learning, is preparing your data for the system to consume. I'm thinking of one client in particular that had almost a dozen different general ledger systems. Just by way of example, we combined all of their general ledger systems into one historical data feed because they planned at a total company level. So we combined all of their subsidiary ledgers into one historical data feed and then built product level and brand level forecasting models that incorporated not just seasonality, which was very important for this business, but macroeconomic factors, things like producer price index and consumer price indices as well into their business. We then gave them a user interface to see and to override that forecast, which is really critical. You can't stop at just the forecast. You've got to be able to provide overrides and adjustments for things that you know about that the model can't incorporate. Perhaps you've got a geographic expansion, perhaps you've got a new product launch, product line extension, something of that nature that you can incorporate that a model simply can't. So we work with clients to develop that user interface and the ability to provide those overrides and adjustments to arrive at a single consensus demand forecast is typically the way that we implement this at QueBIT.
Yeah, no, that's very valuable. So my next question was around what are the critical components of success in your project? But you've got this April webinar coming up where you're going to go deep into that. So I'm going to skip over that question and go right to, how do you see AI for finance evolving, say, over the next decade?
Well, it's certainly going to become more prevalent. Most finance leaders are really interested in this topic, but haven't yet begun. And so I really see that changing. Ultimately, AI is going to let finance leaders bring more to the table in terms of scenario analysis and being able to run different scenarios and what if capabilities in a way that they simply can't when forecasts are created manually or by hand. So I think that insight and that decision-making capability, that's what's really going to evolve over the next decade.
And I mean, we hear finance is becoming more strategic. Do you think AI will be a big part in allowing finance professionals to be more strategic across the organization?
I do, because what could easily happen is multiple different groups within the organization have multiple different AI approaches. Finance is sort of the keeper of the numbers. So it makes sense that the forecast really resides with finance. And they're able to bring one single set of numbers that incorporates others' inputs, but one single set of numbers to the table.
So last question before we finish our coffee here. What advice would you give to finance professionals, business leaders who are eager to leverage AI but may not know where to start?
I would definitely start with the business problem. Don't start with the technology. I had a friend who had that backwards, and I had to really encourage him to take a beat and find the business problem that you're trying to solve. Are you doing a by SKU, by customer demand plan? Are you doing a top line revenue forecast, or somewhere in between? So hone in on what it is that you're trying to forecast and why, right? How does that dovetail into the business problem that you're trying to solve? The best way to go about that is to really ask yourself, what decisions am I trying to make based on this forecast? And then you can back into, okay, this is the problem I'm trying to solve. And then once you've really well defined that, then you can start to look at technology. And the technology doesn't have to be complicated. A simple Python script will get you started. And then you can look at more advanced tools like those from QueBIT as you start to scale on.
Now, this has been fantastic. So thank you for giving us a preview of the AI forecasting for finance. Join QueBIT and Justin for a webinar on April 11th, where we will drill deeper into this subject, especially on success of your project. I'll leave a link to the webinar registration in my post. I'll also leave a link to the free book. Free? It's free? Wow. Okay. Download the book. I mean, come on. That's free. Then join us for the next QueBIT Coffee Break, where we'll be discussing QueBIT software, data work, and report work. I'll be spending some time with Leo Cohen, our QueBIT software general manager. So watch for that next segment soon. By the way, if you find this topic interesting and you'd like to schedule a one-on-one 15-minute coffee break focused on your business and how you get started with AI and the challenges you may face, contact myself or Justin, and there's our email or LinkedIn Messenger. We'll send you a $30 Starbucks gift card and schedule a call at a time convenient for you. Justin, thank you for your time today. This is fantastic.
Thanks, Dan.